Good morning. How is everyone? I hope you are okay. I'm also very okay. So right now I'm trying to get into a buy for GBPUSD. Now I believe GBPUSD has a lot of ground to cover, only 30 pips to cover for us to begin the sell move, because I'm still on my bias is still a sell for GBPUSD. Let me share this. So welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. So yesterday we began our analysis on GBPUSD. So let me first change this to the daily time frame. And even before I change to the daily time frame, let us go to CFTC first. So for those who don't know what CFTC is, CFTC, so let us look here. What is CFTC and why is it important to traders? So what is CFTC and why is it important to traders? Because every time we check CFTC, but maybe you don't have an idea what CFTC is. So CFTC is the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. It is an independent US federal agency created in 1974 to regulate commodity futures, options, and swap markets. Its primary market is to promote integrity, resilience, and vibrancy of these markets by preventing fraud, manipulation, and abusive trading practices. So why is the CFTC important to traders? So why is CFTC important to traders? There are, how many reasons are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 reasons. But I want us to check reason number 4. So the Commitment of Traders Report. This is a crucial weekly report that provides data on the positions held by big money players, commercial hedgers, and large speculators. Retail traders use this to gauge market sentiment, identify extremes in positioning, and confirm their market trends. Okay? So the CFTC report is not just another report. It is a serious report. A serious report. So when we check our CFTC right now, so when we check on CFTC on pound futures, so pound dollar, pound card, pound, so all those pounds, but remember that this is a pound now, British pound. So the British pound, the large speculators are very heavy on shorts, very heavy on shorts. That is the large speculators, that is the hedge funds, and all those other things. And in fact, last week they removed some 10,000 positions. Imagine, just imagine. Huh? Are you guys seeing this? So last week, when is that week? So many are listening. 4. So last week they removed 10,000 longs on GBPUSD. Then they added their shorts. So when we go to GBPUSD higher time frame, remember when we check the CFTC report, we are checking what we call the directional bias for GBP on a fundamental basis. Now when we come to the daily time frame, because the daily time frame is the determinant of all, we can see that GBPUSD first breaks, then it tests, breaks, then it tests, breaks, then does what? So I'm expecting a retest maybe today, by today evening. Why? Number one, first of all, the trend is a sell for me. My bias is a sell. So when we drop to the 4 hour TF, 4 hour TF. So when we drop to the 4 hour TF, when we drop to the 4 hour time frame, like that, my friends, this is a lot of money. So when we drop our fib, so you are taking the high of last week and the low of last week to get the best level to get in this time. Okay, as we can see from the 1 hour time frame, the week started by forming a high. Call this a high of the week. So right now we are forming the high of the week. I thought yesterday price was going to turn at this level, but it seems that we are going all the way to 34,000 IPL level. So my analysis for today for GBPUSD is that we are going to get to 34,000, then we are going to see another sell, a serious sell, a sell. Okay, so this buy should not trick you to think that it is a full-on weekly buy. No. I'm anticipating. Remember, last week, this is the same thing that happened on Monday. Monday, we formed a high of the week. Imagine, and I never saw. Oh, Zai. So today I'm anticipating it. I'm going to be there. I have to get in. So last week, price came and filled this gap. This, imagine. Guys, price last week came and formed the high, and the thing is, these things you only see them after you're out of the market. When you're inside the market, you cannot see these things. Okay? When you are inside the market, you will not see it. That is why always you should be trying to investigate what is happening. How can I take advantage of this situation? Because if I had not removed my... So this was last week's opening gap. Last week's opening gap, which was opened, which was opened. Is it opened or removed? Shit. So last week's opening gap, which had not yet been filled, it happened on March 02. So in the beginning of the month. But on March 10th, the gap was filled and the price came and broke beyond this level. Now what we are doing, we are retracing once again. So I'm expecting this high to come up to this level of 34,000. Why? Because when you place the fib, because you know the fib is usually the answer to all these issues. Okay. So 4,000. So 34,000. Okay. So I tried to sell it yesterday. Why? Trading. So yesterday I had put my fib. My anticipation was that it was going to get to this level and then sell. But you see, it got to this level very late. So there's no way I would get in. I could have gotten in. So I told myself I'm going to wait until the next day to get in during the London session. My God. The moment I got in, it began buying. So now I'm anticipating it around this level. Around 34,000 level. 34,000,000. So it's a, what do you call it? It's an IPL level. It's an institutional price level. Or rather, it is just an important level. That is what you should know. So we have 000 level. We have level 200, level 500. So any of those levels, so level 0000, level 500, and level 200, and level 800, by the way. So someone can decide to sell it at 33,800 or 34,000. But for me, 34,000 is the best. So that is GBPUSD. GBP, let me do this. Let me do this. Number 2, gold. So number 2, we have gold. Now gold, what? I'm very sorry for you if you've been trading gold, because gold has been consolidating for the past 3 days. For the past 3 days. Also, it has broken below this level here. So as I told you, I don't like giving gold any opportunity to mess me. I would rather gold mess me when I have taken that trade from the deepest of the deepest part of the ocean. What do I mean? Right now, the only place I would comfortably buy gold because me, I don't gold is not a very good payer to trade. One day you're in profits, extreme profits. The next day, you're back home to your father and mother, crying, or in the streets. So I don't like gold because of that. It punishes you unnecessarily. Even a 0.01 is enough to punish you. 0.01. So, for gold, I have taken this high, and then I have taken this low, and then I have taken the sweet spot level, because generally gold is on a buy. Okay, the problem is, where do we buy this thing? That is the only problem. Where do we put our buys? The best buys, the best entries, the entries where we are just going to get in, then we start getting profits. Those are the entries we are looking for. So if you are listening to this, that is what I'm trying to look for here. Forget about people who say entries don't matter. Okay, entries matter, especially if you are looking to risk less while aiming for extremely more. Okay, so your entries will matter and your exits too. But if you enter in the best place possible, it is also very likely you will get out at a very good place, because even if price moves 20 or even 30% or 20 or 30 pips, you have already locked in something. Okay, you can even risk even 5% of your account, even 10% of your account if the trade is very high quality. And the only way I can get a high quality trade for gold is if I buy it at around 47, 43. That is the only level I'm going to buy gold at, 47, 43. Until then, I'm going to be waiting for it. Okay, 47, 43. Because sometimes you want to even sell, because right now I would even want to sell. But the problem is, if I sell, I don't know it is going to come here. My friend. So when I'm buying it, I want to buy it at the best possible price. And the best possible price to buy gold is 47, 43. That way, you can even hold that trade for even 5 weeks. So a long position. These are 1,000 733 pips as stop loss, and then I target 8,000 pips. And that is why I'm telling you, you have to be very careful. You have to be very, very, very careful. And before we buy, we must see a very clear bullish engulfing candle. If we don't see a clear bullish engulfing candle, then there is possibility that this trade is going to come even further down. But if you see a strong bullish candle that aligns with our market perspective, we get in. Okay? But if you are brave enough and you think you can take advantage of the markets, because trading is a two-way traffic. So when price is able to break that level, that will still be a good trade, by the way. If price is able to break that level, number one, you sell. You wait for a break below and then a retest. Once the retest comes, you drop to the 1 hour time frame. So we have two case scenarios here. The first case scenario is price dropping. Then after price drops, it retests. And no, I don't know why, but if you do your analysis and you don't wait for it, I don't know, sometimes when you do your analysis, you end up going to look for other things. I don't know why. But this is a good way of planning every day. At least 80 or 90% of the trades I take are trades which I'm conscious about, as opposed to someone who is going to react to the markets without any plan. So this is a plan we are making for today and possibly the rest of this week. Okay? So we are going to wait for price to break below this level and then retest. Once it has retested this level, you're going to look for a bearish engulfing candle, then take this trade to, that's around how many pips? That's around 2,300 pips. So using a 0.01 lot, that is $230. Using a 0.01 lot, that is $2,300. God damn. Imagine. Imagine. 0.01 is $230. One lot is 23,000 USD. But only if you can be able to wait for it to break and then retest. That is the only way, that is the only viable sell I can see, and a viable buy, which I can also see. Okay? So for out JPY, by the way, if you are listening to me and you like personal mentorship, maybe you'd like to be mentored by me, you can talk to me in the inbox. You can send me a message, tell me what your problem is, and then I'm going to help you. Well, it is going to cost you an arm and a leg, but you're going to get the help you need. Okay? So that is that. Now, so GBPUSD, we have that, and then we also have gold. We also have gold. Then we also have which other pair do we have? We also have out JPY. Out JPY. Out JPY. So for me, out JPY is still a buy. Okay? For me, out JPY is still a buy. It's still a buy. So yesterday we had a break. No, last week we had a break. Then we also had a retest in the same week. So this week we are continuing on the same trend of a buy. Okay. The problem without JPY this week was just, or let's say the problem was me. The problem was not out JPY. Now those are three pairs I've discussed below. So I also want to discuss following your plan. Now sometimes when we have no idea what is happening in the markets, we end up doing irrational things. And remember, this market, 70% of the time, it is ranging. So unless you're able to identify those conditions which are ranging conditions and keep your hands to yourself, you'll be having a lot of losses, unnecessary losses. So GBPUSD is taking a nosedive. So let us see whether it is going to break this level. If it breaks this level by closing below it, then I think our entry will not be here, it will be now below this level. So we're going to wait. But if you have money, a lot of it, you can just get using, you can just get in a buy and then put maybe 100 pips stop loss. 100 pips stop loss. Hey, by the way, it's 100 pips stop loss. So you put on 100 pips stop loss, and then your target is 300. Yeah, I can also get in using a small lot size, by the way. Alright, I've gotten in using a small lot size. But even if, in any case, if price decides to come back to 34,000, now I'm going to be there also. But still, I'm also all there, even right now. So this small lot can be able to hold me up to the time I decide, up to the time price decides to do what? To reverse, maybe reverse up to this level, 34,000, and then continue selling. But if it continues selling up to that level, still it's a very good level. I cannot complain about the level. Okay. So I'm on a GBPUSD sale. Let us see how price is going to continue behaving for the next maybe 1 or 2 days or even 3 days. So Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Is anyone having a question? Is anyone having a question? Does anyone has a question? Does anyone have a question? You see, direction, understanding where the direction is moving to is one of the most, is the best thing to do in your trading. Because if you don't know the overall direction, you'll be stuck. You'll be very, very stuck. And I hate ambushing the markets just like that without knowing where I'm going or what I'm trying to do. I hate it very much. So that trade is more than enough for today if it goes well. If it goes well, it's a very good trade. So we even have a new sweet spot now. No, actually our sweet spot is just 3400. Our sweet spot, but it seems price just wants to turn at that level. I don't know why. You can check USD. So first of all, USD is also on sale. So I don't want to say that it is on a buy, because this level was not respected. This was the level which I was expecting it was going to be respected. It's a fib level. Why? It is just an important level. Just know it's an important level. Now, when you see price has comfortably gone through that, or it has destroyed that level, it should tell you something. That the downward momentum is not yet over. The downward momentum is not yet over. So this is what I'm looking at. But the other problem with this pair is that price never broke this level. So that's a bit alarming for me. Very alarming. So I will wish first to see, for me to engage USD, I have to see it break this level first, and then maybe come and retest it. So I need sort of a better confirmation than this. Because the deeper we sell, the deeper we go into the matrix, the more money we make. But we have to do this the right way. So something of the sort, something like that. So our GBPUSD trade is going on very well. But still, because it's a planned trade, it's a planned chart, even if it decides to go back, I'm giving it an allowance of up to 34,000. When it gets to 34,000, then I'm getting out. If it does not turn back at that level, then I'll be forced to turn back or cut my losses. Remember, if you want help with trading and you want to be mentored, talk to me in the DM. In the DM. So are we together? Are we together, my people? My people. All right. So does anyone else have a question? All right. So does anyone else have a question? All right. Let's meet Babadai. So does anyone else have a question? All right. Let's meet Babadai.